In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Looking out over Toledo Bend, 59 degrees, 58 on that dew point. It's warm and steamy. Not quite. I mean, it kind of is. It's not summer levels out there, but you can see a little haze, a little fog out there on the lake this morning. And here in Alexandria, where are we at right now? We're at 66. So again, cooler water of the lake keeps things cooler out there right next to the lake. It doesn't spread out very far inland, but we have 66 here, so 7 degrees warmer. Good morning, all. Good morning. How you doing? Hey. Hope y'all are doing well. Your countdown stopped? Yeah, I do. I control that. And I stop it a little bit early because I like to give people a little bonus if they're just tuning in. They're like, oh, 30 more seconds. And I'm just like, haha, no. So yes, that is a little added bonus we provide here at Cenla Weather. The Tamco radar this morning showing some showers out in Texas. Are we going to get the rain? We've been talking about this for a while, and this system has looked weak all along, and it's going to stay that way. I'll show you here in just a second, but it's not going to be much rain across the area today. 60 to 66 degrees across the state right now, 65 in Alexandria, and it's warm. It was a little foggy this morning. Still in some areas we have patches of fog out there. In fact, a dense fog advisory down to the southeast. And speaking of the southeast part of Louisiana, I know a lot of you are going to be heading there, or some of you are going to be heading there for Mardi Gras stuff this weekend, so I'm going to be focusing more statewide than I do typically on the timing on this thing on Saturday, so don't worry, I got you covered. Southerly or southwesterly winds across the area today into tonight, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Going to be breezy, and we're going to see a few showers, but it's not going to be a day ruiner. We're not going to see anything that's going to be too disruptive out there. Mostly cloudy skies through today, mid 70s for highs, and if we see a little more sunshine, someone could get into the upper 70s, but I think for the most part it's going to stay cloudy. The HRRR model is going to show that we do have the clouds in place and just some light rain. You're not seeing any yellow or orange or anything out there. So this is 11 p.m. tonight, and continuing into tomorrow, just some light scattered stuff out there. You see a few blips pop up there in the afternoon. I'm not worried about anything obviously severe or anything like that, and really not concerned about much that's going to be that disruptive. Now, as we get further into the future on the GFS, you're going to see it does get a little disruptive here. There's your first system coming through today and tomorrow, and then by the weekend, this is where we're going to start to get in on timing trends, and I'm going to explain something to you here. So you see the big blob of red and orange out here. That's Saturday at 2 p.m. But look out ahead of it. There's going to be some activity out ahead of that now. Could be a few thunderstorms. It's going to be that scattered stuff that runs out ahead of the main line, the main front, the main system. So I can't tell you it's going to be dry for the Children's Parade. I can just tell you that what I see right now, and what I'm thinking, given current trends, is that the really heavy stuff is going to stay out to the west. We're going to see some scattered stuff right overhead. So that's what I'm seeing at 2 p.m. And this isn't just because it's just this one model. The thing I'm seeing here is that this has trended a little bit quicker. So this is 8 p.m. This is a few hours faster than yesterday. And again, this is just one of the models, not the ensembles. I'm watching them all. It looks like things are just scooting up just a few hours. So I think by 8 o'clock, the storms roll through here. I'm not exactly sure what's all going on in the evening. I just know that Children's Parade is late in the morning into the early afternoon. It looks like scattered stuff there. It doesn't look like the really heavy wave comes through. But again, we're talking like 6 to 8 hours. Have I seen something speed up 6 to 8 hours in my career? Yes. And now there's stuff going on in Baton Rouge and New Orleans as well. If you're going to be down for Endymion, or I forgot the name of what's going on in Baton Rouge. But 8 p.m. looking pretty good. Maybe some scattered stuff ahead. About midnight on the arrival in Baton Rouge per this model, and 3 a.m.-ish in New Orleans. I do think the severe threat's going to be higher up to the north. I'll show you that in just a second. But it is going to rain, and so if you're out, like if you're one of those weird people that stays out after dark or something, yeah, you could run into some showers and storms out there. Then we get some backside rain there as the wraparound comes on through, and that's just about it. I won't be out late. There's your severe threat, though. Severe outlook. Is this the Storm Prediction Center? No, this is the NIC Prediction Center. They haven't put an outlook out, but I do think it's worthy of an outlook because there's a ton of wind energy. There's not a ton of instability. It's a low cape or low instability, high wind shear scenario, and I don't love those because high wind shear means whatever you do get could be rather significant. So I think isolated, scattered straight line wind is going to be the main issue. Could there be a tornado threat in here? It depends on instability. I think a low threat at least could materialize here. And again, I think that because we have cooler shelf waters right now, the quality of moisture return is not going to be great. It's going to be cooler water down there, so it's not going to be like, in March or April when we really can get that steam to work in here. So that's why I have the severe threat kind of clipping off, mostly north of I-10. And then I think that we are going to see that threat probably from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 3 in the night. 3 in the morning, however you want to say it. So it's going to be about a 12-hour window across the state from west to east. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall looking likely. Someone's going to see 3 out of that because these showers and storms are going to be putting down a lot of rain. It's going to be that kind of rain that comes down in very short order, though. 80%, we're up from 60 there. I think we're going to eventually end this one around 100%. 74 degrees. So, but look at these lows. When we're talking about a really juiced up atmosphere, we're talking lows in the upper 60s, lower 70s this time of year. Upper 50s means that, again, that quality of moisture return, the amount of warmth, the amount of instability, it's not going to be off the charts. So keeping that low is good news, but when you go up 2,000 feet and you have 50-mile-per-hour winds, it's not going to take much to bring those down. So I think scattered, isolated, scattered, however we're going to go with that on the damaging wind. That's our main threat. 65 Sunday, cold front comes through 70 on Monday with a low of 42 to start things out. What about beyond that? Quick look. Good morning, Miss Sharon. Good morning, Mr. John Lee. It's going to be warm out there, February 18th to the 24th. I think as we get toward the end of this time frame, it's still going to be warm. I don't see any wintry threats coming in. In fact, I'm not ready to close the book on wintry threats just yet, but I'm getting there. And I think we're going to be dry to start, so February 18th to about the 22nd. But as we get toward the latter part of this time frame, it looks like we're going to see another system kind of pushing toward the area. And there is a little value in what I say there. If you have plans around the 22nd to 24th, could we see a system rolling? Yeah, I was talking about this Valentine's Day one about 12 days ago. I didn't know if it was going to be on Valentine's Day, the day before, day after or something, but it looked like we were going to see something. So that's what we are looking for over the next little while here. Again, severe outlook if you're just tuning in on Saturday. This is mainly from about 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's going to be pretty much statewide. I think the severe threat drops as you head down south. I'm going to go through the timing. I'll make a text post for this later today so I can kind of, if you're going to be heading somewhere for the Mardi Gras weekend or something like that, or really anywhere from Tyler to Jackson down to New Orleans, I will let you know what's going on. And if you're flying out Saturday evening, yeah, I'll try to time things as best I can. But remember, we're still 4 days away, 96 hours, actually more than like 100 hours. So it's going to shift a little bit. I'm not going to get too cute with it just yet, but I will let you know. I'm going to post about it and give you as much information as I can accurately or reasonably accurately give you. That is it for today. I'm clearly dragging on because I don't want to go work and do other things. But I will see you all later. See you back here tomorrow, and I'll be posting about the severe threat as we get through your Tuesday. I'll see you back here tomorrow.